Okay, so we're starting with team battle. 3 versus 3. Normal style. 2 out of 3 per game. We have XRTH, which Doryan says it stands for Crossheart. So I'm just gonna say no, XHRT. Crossheart. Yeah. Okay. But we're taking them on, and it's Doryan first using Seekers versus Risers. Doryan's already at grade 2. And he's got the Skybow Seeker, which gains 3k depending on how many units you have on the field when it attacks. You have to have four other Seeker units. So Doryan would be 1 unit away from having that. Because Doryan plays Seeker Rune Eagle, he doesn't put the starter Lucius behind Vanguard. Leaves that spot for the Rune Eagle. And depending on what happens, this might be a battle of low hand. Because Doryan decides to go in really early. Well, it's about even with the exception of Doryan having more field. I actually would say that to catch up in terms of field advantage, Dive. I'm just gonna call him Dive, even though I know that U was there. Okay, so he's trying to hit for 2 big attacks instead of 3 smaller ones. Stand trigger and the drive check. See, Cecilia actually doesn't like that stand trigger because she says that giving up a 10k shield just to call a grade 1 unit, especially because you have to call it to the field, you have to call the 4k booster to the field and then the attack has to hit. It is asking for a lot, especially because it retires instead of what it could do, which is if it's shuffled back into the deck. Like if you put it if the skill was when its boosted attack hits, you can return it to the bottom of the deck, search your deck for a grade 1 or lower Seeker and call it to rearguard, then shuffle. That'd be good. That'd be really good. But it doesn't do that. Mythos even says if you want to be really offensive, it's a good way to build your field, and it gets you Legion sooner. But Seekers, if nothing else, probably have the best Legion tools, or at least the Royal Paladins in general do. So you don't really need that. I mean, that's my opinion. Anyway, Purgation Breath Dragon appears, and when it attacked, I think Dive took 2 damage from it. Dive goes into Drill Wing, and he does not have the ideal Drill Wing field. The ideal Drill Wing field would be a full field. That's not what we have right now. Carving Riser is in the rear, giving a 2k boost to Cannon Riser, making it 9k on its own. That extra 3k means that it's hitting for 18. Even without the 2k boost, it would be hitting for 16, which is still good. But it's good that Risers have a anti-cross ride mechanic. because that's what I see this card as. It's the anti-cross ride unit. And it seems he has the grade 2 variant of it too. Now Doryan's gonna Legion. The only 4 cards in his drop zone went back. And now he can counterblast 2 and bring out a Seeker. Will he do it? He starts off by calling Haspasado. Yeah, the Flail Seeker, Haspasado. Which means that this column is going to hit for 23k, actually. That's a good number. And Locrinus? Yeah, Locrinus gains its 4k because because this is the turn he Legioned. So 21 to the Vanguard. Wait, does that hit for 21? Yeah, it does. Because it becomes a 13k attacker when you do that. And now 33 to the Vanguard. Duive can't guard. A critical might end it. Gets a heal instead. Can't heal though. And grade 3. So it just depends on if Duive can guard this next attack or if a heal appears. Because guarding this might be difficult for him. After all, it's 28k. Okay, he's got two 10ks. Now the unfortunate thing here is he really doesn't have a lot of options, Duive does, to turn this match around. Not with that particular Vanguard in that field setup. To use it properly, he has to do that. He has to do that specifically. So Wing Riser's on the field. It gains 4k, 2k from carving, 2k from itself. So it's 13k. Plus the 6 makes it 19. Good number to hit for if Doryan was at grade 2. This situation in general, though, is also good for the fact that Drill Wing is there. Because Drill Wing's ability, you can counterblast 2 while you're in Legion and stand 2 units in the front, up to 2 units in the front row, as long as they have rear units behind them. And because they're both Carving Riser, they give an extra 2k, which allows them to hit for, closer to 11 and, or a little past 11, whereas before they just hit for at 11 or near 11. Makes up for the fact that he doesn't have the strongest units on the field right now. And if Doryan lets this hit, then Energy Riser is definitely going off. Does he know that you're supposed to counterblast 2 before you do the drive check? Because it's when the unit attacks, not after it attacks? Yeah, he knows. Okay. Okay, he knows. He stood the 2 units. And Doryan's not guarding, which means Energy Riser is going to happen as well. He's going to counterblast. Sorry. Orange juice. He's gonna counterblast one more and get the 2 carving risers to stand up so that they're... Oh, he didn't. He really should have. He absolutely should have. Counterblast 1, send Energy Riser into the soul, and stand 2. He could have taken out Doryan's entire hand from doing that. And he really did need that to be the last turn. There is no way he can avoid 1 damage in this situation. I don't even think he has in him to guard the 33k attack from the Vanguard. So if Doryan called nothing else, I think he'd still win. And he's gonna re-Legion, so he can get back the triggers he used to guard, the heal, draw, and the grade 2s that intercepted. He also called a Gildas, so he can counterblast 1 to get any unit he wants. Then he can counterblast 2 to get any other unit he wants, if he wants to deck then, or if he just wants to hit for better numbers. Both would be good in this case. I find it really strange that Gildas can call units stronger than him. Like, he's a grade 2 that could call grade 3s if he felt like it. Oh, he chooses the mate to his Legion, actually. Sillin. Or Killin. I'm gonna call him Killin because it sounds cooler. Oh, it's Klein. It's Klein. That's not nearly as epic. I like Killin. But yeah, you can counterblast 1 to give 3k to himself and 1 other unit. He didn't give the 3k to Klein himself, but it doesn't change the guard anyway. He just did to give Gildas an extra bit of boost. Actually 4k. Yeah, it wouldn't have changed the guard. Good game. On to game 2.